Well, let's say in two different ways. All marine animals, sharks, skates, and rays can accidentally ingest plastic, for example, debris. It can lead to the physical harm, such as injuries, blockages in the digestive system. It potentially can even lead to starvation and death in certain individuals. For example, often in the autopsies of the big blue sharks, we found a lot of long lines that got strangled in the lower parts of ileum, which is actually the lower part of the spiral valve itself. But the far worst is actually the one that we don't see. Plastic, especially micro and nanoplastic, it can act as a sponge for chemical and all the chemical pollution in the water, especially persistent organic pollutants, the POPs, and heavy metals can attract to these microplastics. The smaller the plastic particle it is, the more of these pollutants it can attract. So when elasmobranchs ingest the plastics, especially microplastics, they are also ingesting these toxical chemicals that accumulated on the surface of the plastic itself. So during our research within the plastic shark projects that we had 2 years ago, we actually found an average of 1,200 pieces of microplastics, usually pollutants, in the shark intestinal, which is within the 20 centimeter of the shark intestinal here in the waters of Albania, which is extremely high number, and also showing us that some measures that have to be taken in order to mitigate these negative effects. Such accumulations might lead to endocrine disruptions. Some chemicals in the plastics, such as, for example, bisphenol A, BPA, are known to be endocrine disruptors. So these substances can actually interfere with the hormonal systems, affecting growth, potentially reproduction, and also overall health of elasmobranchs as such. So we come to another way that plastics, especially the toxic chemicals influence, which is the immunosuppression, as exposure to certain chemical contaminants in the water might weaken the immune system, and then making the animal more vulnerable to infections and diseases, but also, as I said, affecting significantly reproduction. It can lead to reduction of overall reproductions. It can lead to the reduction of overall reproduction success, and including lower fertility rates. It can also lead to let's say some developmental abnormalities in the offspring, which have been noted in the sharks so far. Some of them can be linked also to the pollution and such.
Listen to this episode on Spotify, Anchor, Radio Public, Breaker, Google Podcasts, and the Pocket Casts. And if you can wait, it's also going to be soon available on YouTube.
I mean, I've always been interested in nature.
Kind of Mother Nature's perfect animal, you know?
Seeing Nile crocodiles and being kind of terrified.
Welcome to the Nature Talks podcast.